matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings
and the Washington Commanders.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Cousins throwing quickly out for Jefferson.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Another good run in for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42.
They'll go play action. Howell.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, a pick 6 on the first play of the drive. And, Charles, we have our first points of the game, making it 6-0.
And while it's only 6 points in the first quarter, it certainly takes a lot of pressure off of them, doesn't it? They're in the lead. They have control. Now they just want to settle in and play their game and defend that advantage.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number one goal? Make the playoffs. Number two, win your division. Number three, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number one seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Powell throwing on third down here.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
35 yards that time on the punt. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Now a quick throw into the hands of Jefferson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. I tell you what, CD, this Washington defense, very strong in the victory last week.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down. Here's Cousins. And it's caught.
And the Vikings are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Cousins again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he'll just get rid of it.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people out blitz.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Six 0 our score after 1.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Powell, quick slant, Dotson.
They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now Howell.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins.
They're going back to the same well. It's Hockenson again.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They'll throw again. Cousins. Caught on the slant. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. On 2nd and goal, Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
the timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And this offense on third down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Now the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
Now it's Peterson. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And they'll try a jet sweep. It's Rager.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down.
Throwing is Cousins.
Open man, it's Rager. He's got it. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Sliding out of the pocket.
They'll get this right back to Rager.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, Cousins steps away to his left.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From the 6. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Washington will take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing, Cousins. And he's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon.
And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away from the 6. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
They'll run with Gibson.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. On the return is Peterson. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They go play action. Cousins.
That'll be caught. It's Rager.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Cousins.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And the Commanders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays. His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Powell.
This will be caught at Samuel. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And that one results in 35 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. Again, he'll find Samuel for the completion. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Howell looking to throw again. That one complete out to Dotson. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. For their quarterback.
Sets up 4th down.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And they will remain well behind. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Cousins now from the 50. This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 24-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A first down throw for Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Extra touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson,
his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? And now here is another interception.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because
rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. To throw, Cousins.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this Petty will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's second down.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Howell throwing on third down here.
And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the 4th quarter. Well, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy, sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Yeah, well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers.
He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10. Back to Gibson and another catch for him.
So no gain on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And my goodness, another interception.
It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty very much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute.